The terrible mass shooting in Colorado has once again ignited the debate in the US about gun control. But as ever, few people believe yet another massacre will change anything. North America correspondent Michael Brissenden reports.
He was shooting for like about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. It felt like it was going on forever. He shot, reloaded, he kept on shooting.
He was shooting people behind me, and I had like gun shells just, falling on my head, burning my forehead. All I smelled was powder, and it was just really terrifying.
The tragedy in this suburban cinema joins a gruesome list of mass killings perpetrated by deranged individuals who've managed all too easily to get hold of high-powered assault weapons. Just last year, there was the shooting in Arizona that killed 6 and seriously wounded Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. At Fort Hood, just over a year before that, 13 people died. The Virginia Tech massacre in 2007, 32 people killed and 17 wounded. No. And the Columbine High School shootings in 1999, just a few miles from here.
Special coverage of the tragedy in Colorado, the movie theater.
This one is now simply being referred to as the movie theatre massacre.
This morning, a special edition of This Week.
Once again, the US is in shock. And once again, the political discussion across the country is turning to a now depressingly familiar debate.
I don't know why people need to have assault weapons. There needs to be reasonable gun control put in place. And we talk about this constantly, and absolutely nothing happens because many of our legislators, unfortunately, at the federal level, lack the courage to do anything.
One of the few who is New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg.
But somebody's got to do something about this, and this requires, and particularly in a presidential year, the candidates for President of the United States to stand up and once and for all say, yes, they feel terrible. Yes, it's a tragedy. Yes, we have great sympathy for the families, but it's time for this country to do something.
As Mayor Bloomberg points out, Mitt Romney, when he was governor of Massachusetts, actually passed a ban on assault weapons. He's since changed his mind about restrictive gun laws. And Barack Obama came into office in 2008 promising to reinstitute the ban on assault weapons that lapsed in 2004, 10 years after it was first introduced. So far, he hasn't, and many say this is the reason why.
Come on, let them hear you at the White House. Will we fight to preserve our liberty and keep our nation strong and free? Will we save America and our freedom? Will we save the Second Amendment from a second Obama White House?
The National Rifle Association has 4 million paid-up members, but its influence goes well beyond that. Over the last few decades, the NRA has become one of the most powerful and effective lobby groups in the country. Its leaders openly boast about their ability to turn elections. The fact is, even after tragedies like this, when it comes to discussions of gun control, politicians in America tread carefully.
The killer in Norway was in a country that had very strict gun control laws, and yet he was still able to acquire the necessary means to initiate and carry out a mass slaughter. I think we need to look at everything if everything should be looked at, but to think that somehow gun control is, or increased gun control is the answer, in my view, that would have to be proved.
There are an estimated 90 to 100 million gun owners in the US, and 45% of households are thought to own at least one gun. The NRA has been successful in cementing the view across the country that the Second Amendment right to bear arms includes the right to bear high-powered assault weapons.
Our liberty in this country lives in the Second Amendment, the fundamental right that separates us from all other nations on earth. That freedom makes us better than other countries. That freedom makes us stronger than other countries.
In this case, those freedoms allowed James Holmes to amass an arsenal that included 2 handguns, a 12-gauge shotgun and an automatic rifle. He also bought thousands of rounds of ammunition, explosive material and chemicals off the internet, most of which he used to booby-trap his apartment.
Who was most likely to enter that location after he planned and executed this horrific crime? It was going to be a police officer, okay? So make no mistake about it, what was going on there. And if you think we're angry, we sure as hell are angry.
Despite the pressure from lobby groups like the NRA, many gun control advocates now hope the issue will become a feature of the presidential political debate. But both candidates have decided the politics can wait. A truce of sorts has been declared for the next few days at least. President Obama has flown to Colorado and spoken to the victims and those investigating the crime.
I confessed to them that words are always inadequate in these kinds of situations, but that my main task was to serve as a representative of the entire country and let them know that we are thinking about them at this moment and will continue to think about them each and every day.
For the moment, this nation is still grieving, and the people of Aurora in particular are looking to their president for more than politics.
Michael Brissenden reporting.